if some of what you carry didn't begin with you? What if the wounds, the patterns, and even the medicine were passed from generation to generation? On August 28th, I invite you into something deeply personal, the premiere of my new book, The Ancestral Healing Journey. This isn't simply a book about ancestral healing. It's about the stories we inherit and the ones we live and the ones we finally choose to heal. But healing isn't always peaceful. Sometimes healing gets messy. Introducing Raw Healing. It's raw, it's real, no fluff bunnies. We're talking anger, triggers, boundaries, relationships, trauma, and the uncomfortable truths that healing sometimes asks us to face. Because sometimes healing means understanding what came before us, and sometimes it means getting real about what we're carrying right now. Join me, Raven, and Lisa Lovelight for a very special night on Soul Fire Ascension. One night, two new beginnings, the Ancestral Healing Journey and Raw Healing. We'll see you there, Friday, August 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Soul Fire Ascension. And tonight, it's Lisa and I.
Greetings, everyone. Whether you're joining us live now or in the future, thank you for being here. And Raven and I are going to take a little deep dive this evening into some new ideas and concepts that we would like to share with all of you. Raven is on the brink of publishing a wonderful book. And may you tell me the title one more time, Raven?
Sure. It's The Ancestral Healing Journey, Healing the Wounds, Reclaiming the Gifts, and Changing What We Carry Forward.
Excellent. And my dear, we have a little bit of a crinkle in your microphone. Just so you know, like when you're talking, it's just a little, as you're talking, I don't know if maybe, do cords get loose or possibly pushed in?
How's that sound?
It's not as clear as it was our last gathering.
Well, let me look under the settings.
And I didn't happen to notice it when we were backstage. We only had a few minutes to conversate backstage, which, by the way, we also have something. Well, Raven has something else to share that her and I started discussing before we went live. Raven decided to join Rick, who was our guest 2 shows ago, and he was our medium. And Raven went to his masterclass.
Yes. Is there still static with my mic?
Yes.
I wonder if I could. Let me try to change my mic. That's kind of weird.
It is. It is extremely strange because last time it was crystal clear.
Yeah.
But, when speaking of sensitive subjects, sometimes what we powerfully need to speak is interfered with.
Yes. How's that sound?
No crackles. No Rice Krispies in the speech.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
So we were talking about, Tim and I decided to go down to Rick Hayes's masterclass this weekend down in Jasper, Indiana. And it was totally amazing. It was like we learned so much. Let's see. I have a list here because I can't remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
But so some of the topics were spiritual strength core, developing inner resilience, life purpose, moving from routine into intentional living, genealogy, connecting with ancestry and family history, and open eyes meditation. So I learned that open eye meditation, and it was amazing. And it was developing awareness of the spirit body while remaining engaged with everyday life. And then psychic mediumship, life continual, spiritual connection, and validation. And so the speakers were, of course, Rick Hayes, and Dustin. He is amazing. He does a lot with ghost chasing. He is on a television show that does the ghost, goes in and, does the ghost thing and
Mm-hmm.
cord stuff and but he does not it's like he doesn't just go in and make sure that something happens. If nothing happens, nothing happens,
Mm-hmm.
he's truthful and he's honest, but he didn't give so much a talk about that. What he mostly gave a talk about was, how we should get back into nature, how we should put our cell phones down and reconnect personally with people and be grateful. I mean, his talk was amazing. And then Megan, I think it's Heyl, Hale. She is a genealogist,
Mm-hmm.
and she also is like an expert with DNA. And so
Ooh.
she did a whole thing on, what DNA is, how it's collected, how long it takes. And she's a genealogist, so she had a lot of stuff there. And she and I connected pretty good because, well, my book, and I do ancestral, trauma classes on my webpage. And so ancestors, genealogy, I don't know what we had in common. And then finally, Dan Davis, who is a Reiki master, and he taught us the open eye meditation. And it was just, it was so good. And it wasn't a huge crowd because Rick doesn't like to have a huge crowd. He
Awesome.
likes it to be more intimate.
Yeah.
And next year, we're going to be doing Soul Fire Ascension live at his master class next year. But I was able to speak to all of the speakers, and at some point in time, they will also be on the show too. So that's kind of amazing.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. So it was well worth the trip, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. It was a 4-hour drive, but
I was going to ask how long it took for you. What
yeah,
direction? South from you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at directions.
Okay. Okay.
I just turn on the GPS and it tells me go here.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Indeed.
and that's what we did. And, we went down Friday night and spent the night because it started at 10 a.m. And then I really didn't feel like, after being all day in the master class, to take that 4-hour trip back home because that was just crazy. So we spent another night.
Excellent.
And at Jasper, Indiana. It's a very small town, but it's a really cute little town.
Excellent.
Mostly German, and the architecture is just beautiful.
Yeah. So it sounds like it was it was quite the experience. So you and Tim together
Yes.
created memories. You both had an expanded experience while you listened and learned. And I'm assuming Tim enjoyed himself as well.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. That's great.
Yeah,
And
it
that's
was so much
exciting.
fun.
I like
It
the
is.
genealogist and talking about DNA. DNA is quite interesting and fascinating to me. So I look forward to when she's going to visit us.
Yeah. Yeah. She was fascinating. I mean, she has so much knowledge, but she had previously, her job previously was a school teacher.
Mm.
So, okay, we understand,
Mm-hmm.
she very thoroughly taught us that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very thorough.
Awesome.
And we got to meet lots of other people too. So, yeah.
Because as you said, it was an intimate circle. So how many would you say were at the gathering? Like 20 people?
25 or 30,
Okay.
maybe.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
So it was nice.
Mm-hmm. Did you bring business cards and pass them out to everybody while they were there?
You know what? My brain was not thinking because, Tim had told me, "Hey, let's go," like the night before we were supposed to leave.
Okay.
So no, I left those at home.
Spontaneous. It was
Yeah,
spontaneous. Okay. Well,
yeah, I left those at home.
well, the way my mind works, it's out of 30 people, besides the guest speakers that were there, I'm assuming there was other similar individuals there, healers, possibly intuitive coaches, etc. Because people that are in that room want to learn and expand on their own as well. That's what they're there for, right? To be in a master class. So,
There were actually just a lot of regular people,
ah, well, I mean, we're all,
and they were well, we're all regular people,
yes,
but
yes.
they are enlightened enough to understand that this is an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wouldn't say all of them were healers and that, but I would say a lot of them were. I mean, it
Excellent.
was kind of a mixture of just everybody. Yeah, one woman was actually there on a date, and
Oh,
she did not tell her date where they were going or what they were doing.
awesome.
Yeah, he was
That's
very
perfect.
sweet. Yeah,
So she took him on the date.
yes,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, and as you said, people were there to expand.
Hmm.
And that is somewhat the result that can occur if one chooses to take a dive into their ancestral healing journey.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah. Uh, now, let us flow into discussing your book a little bit. If if
Okay,
if we're ready for that,
sure.
excellent. But before we do, did Rick already have next year's date set for the masterclass?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so it's not like he announced it and said, "Hey, everyone, you want to come back next year? This is the
No.
calendar date." Okay, okay.
And we couldn't take pictures or videos, or I would have.
Oh,
But his photographer is going to send me the pictures that she took.
awesome. Well, that's great. He
So
definitely
we'll
kept
have
it.
to have Rick on again.
Yes, kept it a private affair. Kept
Yeah.
everyone's privacy. That's beautiful, and with
Yeah.
integrity as well. His
Yes.
integrity for the group.
Yes.
So, ancestral healing. Before I start asking you questions and whatnot, I would like to maybe share with our audience, because when people hear ancestral healing, the majority of the population may not even know what that means. And here on Soul Fire Ascension, we love to share with our audience all the different ways and techniques to assist you to be on your highest timeline and to assist you with your healing journey. Because there are many layers, many layers, right? To healing. One thing about healing is it doesn't happen on its own. It takes us being the willing participants to see the results. And when it comes to ancestral healing, why would someone want to do ancestral healing? Well, there are multiple factors to it. To identify repeating patterns. Maybe on a day-to-day basis, we don't realize how some of the actions or even a belief system is a pattern that is passed down from generation to generation. Another reason, to understand yourself more deeply, to separate what is truly from you, yours, and what you inherited, right? Like your beliefs, how you cope, your expectations. You might have expectations just because you learned that someone had expectations from you. Right? And then another one is, why else would you want to do ancestral healing? Well, to heal whatever it is that is coming to the surface that maybe isn't healthy for us anymore. And to heal rather than place a blame, right? Because it's not our ancestors' fault that we always get out of bed and stub our toe, right?
Yeah.
And another aspect of it is to change what got passed on to us subconsciously. Because when we have that awareness, we have the power to stop it. It stops with us because we see the pattern, we're feeling the pattern, we're not liking it, and we want to shift that. So that might be another reason. And I mean, the list can go on and on and on. But ultimately, when I say it stops with us, right, so that we can help change these things so it's not passed on to our children and their children's children. And for some, it also can be a spiritual thing, connecting with the ancestors, feeling what they had to go through, sending them love, but then again, stopping it with us, bringing that awareness. And when it comes to ancestral healing, it's not that we are broken. It's giving us the awareness to make a choice. We can recognize things. But warning, it does take a little effort. It takes some effort. So, but that's part of the journey, is to say, I did that. And so,
and we're also going to say that it is not always easy, and it is not pain-free. It is painful. And what I have always said is that once we heal ourselves, we heal our ancestors and our future generations. And I used to think, I was always told, think about your ancestors. And I always thought, okay, honor your ancestors. And that is true. And there are gifts that our ancestors have given us as well as those other things, and so that's part of the journey itself.
Hmm. Absolutely. And I believe we've discussed this before, but for our viewers who have not listened to that show, um, what or how did you flow into writing this book?
Well, I have a course up on my website, and
Mhm.
if you go to the little thing right there, yeah, it'll take you to Raven's Healing Arts. And I have an ancestral trauma healing course up there. And it's kind of extensive. I mean, I wouldn't say super extensive, but it's got it's got lessons. It goes a lot deeper than what this book does. It has a workbook that goes with it. And I do plan on publishing a workbook that goes with this, but not the same workbook as the Ancestral Healing class.
Mhm.
So I was thinking that I would write this book and have the Ancestral Healing class be very in depth. But I wanted to write this book in a little bit of a different way. Um, in in the book, I have some of my own experiences to give you a reference for what I'm talking about. Um, Say
Mhm.
we inherited in our family, we inherited being able to interact with animals, and animals were just that's our family thing. And so in it, I put, how my grandmother used to tell stories about this German Shepherd who lived down the street, and everybody walked on the other side of the road whenever the German Shepherd, was out, and he would just be rah, 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 and up on the fence, and everyone was afraid of him. But my mother, as a child, would go up to the fence and just be sticking her face through the chain link and giving him kisses, and he would give her kisses. And so we have a natural kinship with animals. And I also had in there some of my experiences, which is with grooming, dog
Mhm.
grooming. And, I have this dog that comes in. His name is Leo, and he's a sweetheart, but he has bit every groomer in the place
Oh, what a stinker.
except for me. And he comes in and he's very cage aggressive when he first comes in. And so I just leave his collar and leash on him and put him in a bottom cage. And then I take him out for the bathtub. And after I give him his bath, I put him back in the cage and I don't have any problems. So I figure he really hates the force dryer. So I'm thinking that's what he's anticipating. So I don't
Mhm.
force dry him. I take him and I put him in the cage. And then after he's dry, I put him on my table. And the problem that I have with him is he won't stop kissing me.
Oh, yeah. You can't stop the crazy tongue.
Right. And so I just tell him, Leo, we will have time for this afterwards. And we do. I make sure that, I make good on that promise. So we have a little love session
Aw.
after the groom. And that's one of the gifts that was given to me by our family. We have a way with animals. So not all of it is bad. We received a lot of gifts from our ancestors.
Mhm. Mm. Well, and it's a perspective, right? We can
Right.
look at it like there is no good or bad. It's just
It is what it is.
indeed. And some things may create struggle. strife,
Yes.
suffering, etc. Which again, like you said, doesn't feel good. But the healing journey, it does take blood, sweat, and tears. But
It
on the other
does.
side of it, so okay, and I also want to say I love the way you open the book and you explain. I don't want to give it away, so I want everybody. It's a wonderful book, but so Raven does speak a little bit before she goes into the chapters about the medicine.
Yes, that I did come from a medicine family, and I think it was when I think I was 11, and it was when I first actually had the experience of the medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had gone on a field trip. I'm not going to give it all away, but we had gone on a field trip to a reservation. And when I was a child, I went on that field trip. And when I stepped foot on that land, something inside of me told me I was home. And in New England, there's a lot of cliffs and rocks. And so this reservation was right on the ocean, but it was like there was this cliff and then the ocean and the rocks. And I stood there and I had a vision of myself in buckskin, and of course this whole story about the whole thing, and I don't want to ruin that, but
Mm-hmm.
it was my first realization of the medicine,
Mm-hmm.
and actually making it when I went home, my grandmother reinforcing a lot of that. So yeah.
For our viewers that perhaps do not speak the same language as us in regards to the medicine, we're not
Yes.
talking about pharmacology. We're
No.
not talking about going to Walgreens and getting some ibuprofen. But
No.
in the spiritual sense, medicine, can we
Yes.
give a little breakdown for our viewers who are new to this concept?
Sure. I do come from a medicine family. My great great grandmother was a medicine woman, and my grandmother was a medicine woman. And the medicine is passed down grandmother to granddaughter. Now, it is healing with herbs and also hands on touch healing. According to the stories of my grandmother, who taught me the medicine, my great grandmother had raised two boys who became Catholic priests, and they had this room in the church where they had crutches and wheelchairs or whatever that they didn't need after seeing my great great grandmother. Now, whether this is true, we can prove it. I don't know, but this is the story that was handed down to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have healing energy in our hands. It's something we can feel, and it's something we know is there. And of course, my grandmother told me that it's not us.
Mm-hmm.
What she said was she imagined God's hands on top of hers, and the energy went where it needed to go, and that we were not the healers. And when we started to think that we were the healers, then he would take it away. And then she told me I had to find my own way. And so I had this medicine, but then I also became a Reiki master, which actually turned the energy for me from 110 to 220,
Mm-hmm.
as far as, if you're going
Amped
to
up.
measure elect and amped it up really.
Mm-hmm.
really. So that, but then just because I came from a medicine family does not mean that that family was functional.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Indeed.
we were like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that for our viewers. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And it's a very easy read. How many pages? It's like 130-ish. It's
I
probably going to be
thought it was like 220 something, but you could be right. Might be 130-ish. It's only 6 chapters because the class is set up for a 6-week class. But
uh-huh.
it also has, once you go through a chapter, you hear the little story,
Mm-hmm.
and then you hear the explanation of, say, uh, the bloodline and
Mm-hmm.
you, you know,
Absolutely.
then there is a ritual that should you choose to follow that ritual, it will help and aid you in healing that part.
Mm-hmm.
So it's six lessons,
Mm-hmm.
which are meant to be 6 weeks at a time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Well, it's perhaps, yeah, it has pages in length, but there is a lot of simple sentences that flow together. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we have a comment from Sam,
Sam.
and she says,
Mm-hmm.
I personally have felt Raven's healing hands, and I am grateful because I have done some work on Sam.
Yes, you have. And I believe there's a little
Thing in the book about
story
Sam.
about Sam. Yes. So,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
there is. But and like I say, it's not all roses and sunshine.
Indeed.
When we're healing, we have to set boundaries, and some people they don't like for us to set those boundaries because they want that person that they had before. So
Mm-hmm.
that and once you start setting boundaries, then the ball game changes. People get upset.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes we end up losing some people,
Mm-hmm.
maybe for just a little while and maybe for a very long time, but we have to understand what is best for peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because, or do you want to continue the trauma and the drama with that person? Or do you just want some peace? And hopefully one day those people will understand and maybe heal themselves and hopefully come back a different person and a healed person. And maybe it would be a better relationship down the road.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that that would happen, but in life, nothing is guaranteed.
Mm-mm. And as I love to say, change is the only constant in life.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, we have to lose some people for a peace.
Yes. But our inner peace is the most important for us, because in order for us to be able to show up fully for our loved ones, we need to instill that self-love for ourselves. And
Yes.
part of self-love is doing the work and putting in the blood, sweat, and tears for the journey and for the healing. So then again, it ripples out to the ancestors and the future ancestors.
And we also want to pay attention because children learn by watching. They
Mm-hmm.
learn by watching the family dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
And children should never be or should never participate in adult situations. Those things need to be separate.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of families don't understand that dynamic. So we want to take care of the children in this.
Absolutely.
And we want to do this for the children in our family, for the future generations.
Mm-hmm. And in your book, as you mentioned, in each chapter, it's like a little lesson. You have optional, um, you have optional thoughts and ideas to pose to the reader to allow, when you ask a question at the end of that chapter, it'll allow the reader to really think about that in their own life and in their own landscape.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of my favorite things that you do, because this is not just a book that you read and you're done with it. It's an interactive. You're integrating with the book, with your own emotions, your own thoughts. And yeah, so instead of, for instance, in chapter one is the call to remember. And I believe you point out, instead of saying what's wrong with my family, you shift the questioning to what happened here, right?
Yeah.
And so that's such a beautiful way, again, not placing blame. You're just looking at how it all unfolded.
Mm-hmm.
Taking these pieces of the puzzle that you do know that you can answer, like the corner pieces. You can get your puzzle started and
Yeah.
you corner pieces, and then you build from the outside in. So you look at the outside of what happened, and then you start going on the inside of that and placing the pieces together. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And witnessing the patterns that are in our family ancestry without blame, because, I have certain instances in there and I decided to be real, because that's the one thing that you have to be in order to heal is you have to just get down to the real stuff.
Yes.
And when I was younger, I saw it one way.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got older and I had children of my own, I saw it in a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
and you have to look at the patterns, but look at the patterns without blame.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And possibly, if possible, not so much emotion, because emotion charges things, right? You want to be a witness. You want to just observe. And David
Yeah.
Price says, healthy self, heal thyself.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, David. We always appreciate you from the other side, brother. Brother from the other
Yes.
side. Australia.
Yeah.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. So, but back, and with every chapter, there's different, what's the word I want to use? Because it's not really, like the landscape. Every chapter is different. You got a little bit of this, you got a little bit of that. And to me, I want to keep reading. What's going to happen next? I learn a little bit about Raven here, and I learn a little bit about her here. And I think I know why. This is kind of like a little snapshot of your personal experiences, but it's not your life story, which, if I remember correctly, you were working on that once upon a time, not too long ago.
Yes.
And I feel as though possibly you may leave room for yourself to actually write a book about the challenges that you've gone through in your life, because you've had plenty, as many people do when they write a story about themselves.
Well, and actually, I did start writing a book about it was like almost like a biography.
Yes.
And I started writing it and I was like, you know what? I don't want to relive this again. It's not something I want to relive.
Yeah.
But it brought me to be able to see the patterns that were evolving within the chapters that I was writing,
Mm-hmm.
which brought me to healing the ancestral trauma healing class, which is up on my website. And by the way, there is a couple of things. There's a lot of free things up on my website. Let's see. I have, let's see. Oh, a free quiz. If you click on that, there's a free archetype quiz to let you know what archetype you are. There is also a How to Love the Self You Were Never Taught to Love free class. And then again, on our Soul Fire Ascension, Lisa and I have that free masterclass too. I think I have a widget for that too. Let's see.
What are you talking about? Like on your website, they can access it from the website?
No, they can't access it from the website, but they can on Soul Fire Ascension. And I thought that I had.
There's a category. I thought I seen it on there. Like if someone goes to YouTube and they look at our channel, you look at videos.
It's under classes.
Classes. Okay.
Yes. So, but yeah, I thought I had it up here under the little widgets that we had, but maybe not. Weird. Thought we did. But
it might be hiding on you.
It could be. It really could be. Mm-hmm. There's no telling. And then that one is To Raven's Healing Arts, which will take you to Soul Fire Ascension's page as well. And there is a free 6-week masterclass up there that Lisa and I did, and we're kind of proud of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So,
and speaking of healing,
yeah,
we have Zuma starting our very first raw healing class. And so let me put up our banner for that. This is something that Zuma has asked us to put up on every show.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though she is a psychotherapist,
mm-hmm.
this program is not therapy and it's not a substitute. But she is going to be discussing different situations. This first one is all about anger and dealing with anger. And I have to say, like when I was making the reel for the show, the promotional reel, she wasn't really liking it. And I thought, okay, so let's get up. Well, I mean, I want her to be comfortable with it.
Right.
You know, so I said, well, let's get up and have a Zoom meeting, you know, tell me what you like and what you don't like about it, and let's straighten it out. And she was like, and I was going through some stuff at that time. And she asked me, she said, so how are you? And I'm like, okay, do you want the truth? Or do you want me to say I'm fine?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, no, I want the truth, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to talking about the promo and what she liked and what she didn't like. And I really like it when people give me feedback like that. I don't mind that you don't like it. Let me know what you don't like so that I can make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what she did. But then afterwards, it was like I got a free counseling session from her. And let me tell you, the amount of F-bombs that were put up there and shit and cuss words. The thing about it was that it was real, that you didn't have to put on airs, that you could say what you wanted to say with her.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody was looking for somebody that could do counseling online, I would, after that session, I would highly recommend her.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So at our first show under the raw healing is going to be anger.
Mm.
And which was actually the whole session that I had was on anger.
Awesome.
And it was so then I was able to go out and do the promotional video for her. So
was it perhaps your promotional video was too peaceful?
it was.
Yeah,
I
know it was just too peaceful and too calm. Got to put some punch in it.
Well, actually, let me see if I can find it and I will.
We're going to need that link. Sam says we're going to need that link. Sam, are you talking about, Sam, Sister Sam, are you speaking about the raw healing, or what link exactly are we talking about? And also, Raven, perhaps Stephanie Rivera is greeting us. Hello, beautiful souls. Been a while. What are we discussing? We're discussing ancestral healing and why it's important that we put the effort in, along with raw healing.
Which is our new series. So I do have the promo. Are we ready for the promo?
Certainly.
Something happens when you get angry. But here's the question. Was it really what happened that made you angry? Or was it what you thought about what happened? They're ignoring me. They don't care. They did it on purpose. And just like that, you've made it personal. But what if it isn't personal? What happens when you change the thought? Join Zuma Williams, the swearing therapist, as we take a very different look at anger. Because it's not always the event that creates emotion. It's what we think about that event. And that thought can change what we feel and what we do next. Join Zuma with Soul Fire Ascension hosts Raven and Lisa Lovelight. And this is just the beginning. Welcome to Raw Healing. It's raw, it's real. No fluffy bunnies. No pretending everything is fine when it isn't. Just honest conversations about shit we actually deal with and what we can do about it. Raw Healing premieres with the Cycle of Anger, Friday, September 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Soul Fire Ascension. So next time something pisses you off, before you react, ask yourself one question. Why am I angry? Because changing a thought might just change what happens next.
And that is the truth. Excellent promo.
Thank you.
Yes, our thoughts can generate emotion.
Yeah.
Just in allowing someone who, say, for instance, has a bad day, and then they sit and think about that bad day, and then they continue to think about it and continue to think about it. All they're doing is perpetuating that loop of emotion. in their head, and then trickles into the physical vessel. So then you don't feel good, or your head hurts, or you got a pain in your chest because you just worked yourself up by all those thoughts you had looping. So
Right. And that might not even be the case because you have generated all of those feelings. You've generated those emotions. Thank you, Sam.
Yes. And Sister Sam was looking for the link to the show, but you just answered her question by playing the promo.
Yes.
September 11th. Somebody call 911. It's going to be a great time.
It is. And I think that Raw Healing is going to be an excellent series. She's coming on once a month, and she is going to have one subject a month, and she's amazing.
She is. And I'm so grateful that when we closed out her show that day and we were hanging out with her behind stage, our conversation evolved. And she so graciously agreed to come back and join us so that we can give examples to our audience and in different ways and techniques to help you go through these emotions.
Yeah.
So, and Sister Sam says, I'm excited about this.
Yes.
We are as well, Sam. We are super excited about being able to bring this to our audience and the collective. And Stephanie says, sounds empowering. I like it. Well, yes. Stephanie, stay tuned. And I know you're on Facebook watching us, but if you go to the YouTube and then go to the notifications, it'll remind you when we're live, and then you can catch what we've got to say.
Yes. And while you mentioned that, we really appreciate all of our audience members. And if a part of anything that we say on any of our shows resonates with you, or you feel somebody else needs to hear, please share it. And please subscribe so that we can continue to bring the best that we can. And we keep getting better.
Room for growth and improvement.
We are evolving, and and I love it.
Absolutely. Excellent. So, in regards to the raw healing, has it been determined how many, or are we just going to go with the flow of different subjects? Like we're doing anger. I'm sure we're going to do anxiety. I mean, that's a big one for everybody. So I'm sure there will be one on anxiety.
Yes, she has already booked our calendar for each show. And she has already booked a topic. And she has sent me an email with, that was part of the problem when I was making the promo. All she did was give me a topic. And I was like, okay, so I don't know how you're going to approach this, but I'm going to try to figure out how you're going to approach it. And she was like, no, that's not how I'm going to approach it. I'm going to approach it like this. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So, and now she has sent me a list of each topic and how she's going to approach it so that I can do the promos that go with that.
Excellent. So, and do we have more than 3?
We're up until December or January.
So like that's 3 or 4. So 4, yeah. Excellent.
So, and we would like to have her go out. I just don't have our calendar marked, available available spots after December, but I do need to go up there and do that. I, had gotten 2026 done, so I haven't worked on 2027, but I need to do that. And if she would like to continue with the Raw Healing series, I definitely want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that any kind of healing that we have or we're exposed to, if it resonates with us, it helps.
And as you were saying that, for our viewers now or in the future, if there is anything that you would like to hear us discuss in regards to this raw healing, please reach out to Raven, just so that because we love to hear your thoughts and how you feel. And you are a voice as well. So please do share. If there was something or someone that you would like to see or hear on our show. And Sister Sam says, I have been struggling myself with things, and it has keeping me in a silent state. But I always try to come and see the shows. Oh, Sam, thank you so much for.
We love you, Sam. Thank you
Yes,
so
we
much.
do. So thank you for being here. And Sister Sam says she truly appreciates everything that we do for them.
Awesome.
Excellent.
And Sam, you did receive a copy of the manuscript. I don't know. Congratulations, they're buying a new house on the
That's good.
1st. They're signing for that. So they've been moving and packing and
Mm-hmm.
doing all that stuff. And she's just running around like crazy. But congratulations on your home. It's so fabulous. I saw pictures. I love it.
Excellent.
Can't wait to come and visit.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, that's big. That's a big shift. So by all means, you can always catch our replays if you can't visit with us live.
Yes.
But yes. And as I mentioned, it would be wonderful to hear from our audience, to hear. Yeah, Kat just jumped on me with her claws. Oh, that did not tickle. Did not tickle. But yes, we'd love to hear from you. So any thoughts or ideas to contribute for our raw healing series, please reach out, because it's all about you anyway. It's all about the audience. It's all about the collective. We care what the content that we are sharing. And yes, all these beautiful souls that we have on the planet, all of these beautiful pieces to the puzzle of the collective, right? And that's what we're doing, piece by piece, show by show. We're putting together the big picture of life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Now, I feel as though it would just be fitting, sister, that we ask you the question. So before we leave, Sister Sam, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you guys for when you go visit her in her new home. I'm assuming it's in Indiana.
Oh, no. They live in Virginia.
Oh.
So it's a nice road trip. Yeah. We love it.
Excellent. Virginia. Yay. All right. So, and then, so our next show is September 11th with Zulma.
No, I don't think so. I think our next show, well, yeah, it is. And then it's Lowe's and Brown Bear.
After that. Okay. Excellent. Yes. Excellent. Yes. So, and that as well is going to be a show, with Lozen. I know her personally.
Mm-hmm.
I was her apprentice once upon a time in 2015 to 2017, learning different walks of life. So she is Native American, taught me the medicine wheel, as well as many other different concepts that the Native Americans practice. So it was beautiful. But she's going to join us because she's an author as well now. So we get to hear about her journey at the end of September. I'm excited about that. And yeah,
Would you like to see her promo?
I would love to see it.
Okay. What happens when everything you thought you knew about healing becomes personal? When Lozen Brown Bear faced cancer, she chose to become deeply involved in her own healing journey. But healing didn't stop with her. It became a calling. Through Sacred Space, Animal Sanctuary, and Rescue, Lozen gives animals in need safety, compassion, and another chance. And perhaps those who feel deeply understand something about healing that can't always be put into words. In The Heart of an Empath, Lozen explores the gifts and challenges of living with an open heart. Her work reaches beyond this lifetime through QHHT, past life exploration, and the memories of the soul. Meet healer, teacher, artist, author, and spiritual seeker, Lozen Brown Bear. Join Raven and Lisa Lovelight on Soul Fire Ascension, September 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, so we have a lot going on in September.
I love that promo. I love the part where her hands are like this and it glows. That's great.
Well, she glows.
Yes. Yes. She
Just
does.
her personality and speaking to her and getting to know her, doing the promo, and she as a person just glows.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Kind of like how the moths go to the flame. She's that flame.
She is.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And you did a beautiful job with her intro.
Thank you. I'm getting better. Thank you, Sam.
Oh, sorry, sister. Sorry.
That's okay.
Here, let me bounce that out. Bounce the other one back in really quick.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Congrats on the new book. And she also says, for the healing series, I would love if you could include how to heal from anxiety and PTSD. Okay.
Yes.
Noted.
Duly noted. I did invite Zulma to come to the show, but she had a previous engagement, or she would have.
Aw, beautiful.
And which is fine. I just,
Mm-hmm.
you guys, if you didn't catch her show before, she's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And she is the swearing therapist, and she's just real.
We had her on in June. So if you go look at our videos, when you go to our YouTube and you look under the categories, all of our videos are under live because we go live, but that's where you're going to find them. And she's just
you'll find them under full episodes.
Okay.
Because after the show goes live, like the next day,
mm-hmm.
what I do is I put them under full episodes. Oh. And then I do some shorts.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, maybe my phone is different. That's how I access them.
Sam says, I love her. She's amazing. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, sister. Let's get this.
We have a question.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Our hosts, Raven and Lisa, how did the two of you arrive at working together? Well, Lisa, I'm going to let you answer that one.
I met her at 7-Eleven. But I do stuff like that. I meet strangers and I'll be like, here's my business card. I have these to meet people. And I don't want you to call me for a Reiki or healing hypnosis session or anything. I just want you to be my friend. That's basically what's been happening this entire year, but it's cool. So yes, Sister Raven and I both were members of not a platform, but a group when we were learning our healing hypnosis. It's called Aura, AURA. And Raven and I both were practitioners. And that is how we met. We met because we were both healing hypnosis practitioners in the same group. And we had a book club. And in the book club, it was on a Wednesday, and it was just a small amount of us. There was like a handful, and Raven decided to join in with us in the book club. So that's how I started to get to know Raven a little bit more on a personal level, because we were together discussing the books from our perspective. And then in 2024 is when Raven asked me to be her co-host. In like, I want to say it was like in the summer, because Jessamy, life is busy. She's raising a beautiful, smart young man. So for her at this time in her life, it was best that she stepped away. And so I was plugged in. So thank you for that question, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this kitty cat, she just wants to come show us her tail. Again,
Right.
her tail is beautiful. Everybody loves it, but we don't want to see it anymore. All right, sister. Now, ask all of our guests, what message would you like to leave our audience with?
You're worth it. You're enough. And take the time to go through the healing, even though it's painful. In the end, you'll come out with peace.
Mm-hmm.
And always believe and always discern with your heart.
Excellent.
And when my book comes out, buy it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Excellent. I had a wonderful time.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to thank everybody.
Yes. Oh. Raven also likes to know. And for everyone watching, we'd love to hear from you. What part of today's conversation resonated most with you?
There you go.
Excellent.
And so we'll see you guys for Raw Healing.
Yes.
Which is our next show in a fortnight.
Beautiful.
And thank you, Sam, Dave, and Stephanie. Stephanie, please say hi to Mom. I love Cinnamon Moon. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you all later.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.